This is the Miller philosopher. In the Two Towers movie, there is a conversation between Galadriel and Elrond about the dire situation that the quest to destroy the One Ring has become. However, there is one statement made during this conversation that disturbed me, and that I see quite often in Tolkien's writings when it comes to great quests and supernatural beings and objects that are involved. That the quest to destroy the One Ring will claim Frodo's life, and that it was a risk apparently that all the elf lords took. Essentially saying that they were all in on the cost of this mission, and yet none of them felt the need to tell Frodo about it, or any of the Fellowship about this, possibly even Gandalf himself, which is ironic given that he was part of the White Council back in the day. Why not tell the Ringbearer such important information? Why not tell him that, look man, we appreciate you taking on this mission and everything, but if you do this, your ass is going to die. I don't think this paints the elf lords in a positive light. However, it's, like I said, it's not just here where information is withheld to the detriment of those involved. In the Silmarillion, when Beren and High King Thingol are having their fight over Luthien, Beren boasts that nothing will keep him from his newfound love, no matter who or what that might be. This pisses off Thingol so much that he's now ready to kill him, but can't because of his promise to his daughter, at least not directly, because then Thingol goes into Fëanor mode and comes up with a scheme to send the despised mortal on an impossible quest to bring back a single Silmaril from the crown of Morgoth himself, something that neither Fëanor, his brother Fingolfin, or any of the Noldor armies of the north have been able to accomplish for centuries. Though Beren does agree to this quest, it's clear to everyone but him, apparently, that it was a plan to kill him because no one had any hope that this was going to happen. What's more, Beren remains unaware of this motivation until every mortal's elf lord best buddy, King Finrod of Nargothrond, finally lets him in on the secret. And what kind of surprised me even more about this is that even Luthien did not tell Beren about her father's motivations, and she had already displayed loyalty to him. But for my part, I can't fathom why she would not tell her lover that her dad's trying to kill him. Also, and though this might be more excusable, Melian does not tell Thingol about what the consequences are going to be of assigning Beren to this suicide mission, at most saying that it's going to set in motion powers that have been long at rest, but not giving him any more details than that. And like I said, this might be excusable because she's a Maiar, but she's living within the confines of the world. So basically, her precognition of the future may be limited, and she may not see all the details. So therefore, there wasn't any details essentially to tell him other than, you're going to regret this. You also have Endos during one of the Valar's early communications about what to do about the elves in Middle-earth after their first victory over Morgoth at the fall of Uptuno. During this meeting, which was of such great importance that even Umo, arguably the most reclusive of the Valar, shows up. Half of them, and I'm going to assume that Umo was the lead in this faction, were against the idea of moving the elves to Valinor for their own protection because they were supposed to help bless and enrich Middle-earth, while the others were in favor of it because Middle-earth had now become too dangerous for them to do that. When it was decided that the elves would be moved, though, all Manos has to say about it is, so it is doomed. Clearly, the guy had information on what was going to happen if the elves were moved, but doesn't say anything. It would have been helpful to know such facts, since he had been pretty damn quick to let the Noldor know exactly what was going to happen to them after the Battle of Alqualondë. Though it could still be argued that he could have told them this before that battle even took place. And then you have the Valars dealing with Numenor when they sent messengers to warn them from seeking after immortality. That essentially, that beyond saying that the will of Ruru cannot be resisted or argued with, the Valar was still in the know that there were going to be extreme consequences if the Númenóreans didn't stop with their quest for immortality. At the very least, you can track the origin of his behavior to Uru himself, actually, since he was well aware, apparently, or supposedly, of what the events that were going to play out in Middle-earth's history were going to be, but does not tell the Valar what those events are. As it happens, of course, going back to the original example, Frodo does nearly die at Mount Doom before Gollum effectively takes his place. And I have never seen hobbits run so fast in my life as they did running out of that volcano. But they still would have died from the fumes of the volcano, and at the very least the extreme exhaustion that Frodo was already undertaking the quest in the first place. They were as good as dead. That is, if Gandalf and the Eagles had not saved him and Sam at the literal 11th hour. Frodo's survival was something that no one foresaw, presumably because Uru, maybe, had some unseen hand to play, or perhaps Frodo and Sam were just that damn lucky. And while Galadriel and Elrond are clearly not evil, they still do share some disturbing traits that immortals tend to do, in my eyes at least, that I think are morally gray. So I guess what I'm trying to say with these examples is that essentially there is a trait among the immortals of a fuck around and find out mentality when it comes to those under them choosing to undertake missions and quests and everything that are of extreme importance, but not telling them what's going to happen if they take on that responsibility when they know what's going to happen. That for all intents and purposes, they may see some people as expendable. And this wouldn't bother me so much if it wasn't for the fact that providing all the intel available to the participants could have affected the course of events going forward dramatically. These are people choosing to put their lives on the line for a larger cause that they may feel is dangerous, but aren't aware that it is so dangerous that there is zero chance of survival. But having said that, what are your thoughts? Do you feel that it is necessary for the immortals, including Uru himself, to withhold information from those involved? Do you feel that those involved should be informed about all the risks and dangers and consequences of what they're about to undertake? Let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, this is the Miller Philosopher, and you guys have a good day.